Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this video today is kind of a sequel or an update to the original video I did on the Fimi Palm because they have released some updates to the camera and I wanted to kind of do an updated video, talk about what I like about the camera, some things that I've been doing with it recently, especially now that restrictions have lifted up in my area and I was able to test it a bit more. So more on that after this. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Jeff Fagien. I'm a filmmaker and director of photography based in South Florida. And if you're new here, this is a place where I post some work, some behind the scenes of that work, and talk a little bit about gear. And today we are going to have an updated video talking about the Xiaomi Fimi Palm. And it's a camera that, I liked it when I first got it, but it had some limitations, and we're doing this video because some firmware updates have come out that have made those limitations not as bad. So let's get into it. So first, Xiaomi released an update giving the Fimi Palm 24p, which was huge for me because almost everything I film is 24p. This video right now is in 24p. Most of my work, pretty much all of my work is in 24p, unless I'm shooting in slow motion, which even at that point, if it's 60p or it's 120p, it's always conformed down to 24. So 24 is what I love, and this camera now has it. So I've been using the Xiaomi Fimi Palm to vlog, because in the last video, I compared the Fimi Palm to the Osmo Pocket, and where the Osmo has it beat is I kind of like the colors a little bit more on the Osmo, and the Osmo also has the ability to get somewhat of a shallower depth of field compared to the Fimi Palm. However, where the Fimi Palm wins, when you're using the Osmo and you're using it to film other people, it's a great tool. It's a small camera on a gimbal, and it works really well. It has great quality, and the field of view is much more narrow compared to other action cameras. But where it doesn't work as well is when you're wanting to use it as a vlogging device. That's where the Fimi Palm shines, because the Fimi Palm, similar basics, it's a camera on a gimbal, all built in one, but it has a much wider field of view. So I liken it similar to a GoPro field of view, where it's very wide, a little bit distorted, but for vlogging, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So to give you guys an example, when I would vlog on my Osmo Pocket, I would basically have to hold the camera out like this far. And it was kind of not very comfortable, and it still was somewhat of a narrow field of view, but it basically was like just to get this. Whereas the Fimi Palm, I can pretty much hold it to about right here, and it pretty much gets like my whole, not my whole body, but a nice medium shot, and I'm just holding it right here. And the benefit to that is when you're using the internal mic, it's much closer to you, so the audio's clearer. You don't have to worry about being in focus because pretty much everything is an infinity on this at all the time because it's so wide. And I'm actually okay with that for vlogging, because when I'm vlogging, I just want to pull the camera out, say what I have to say, put it back in. And what you guys have noticed with my last video is even taking the Osmo out and testing both of them at the same time, the Osmo was getting out of focus shots a lot of the time when I was in the vlogging mode. And it was very annoying because, the screen is so small and I don't want to have to bring my phone and attach it to the Osmo. And you just can't tell on the little screen if you're out of focus or not. So I've started to use the Fimi Palm for vlogging, and I'm going to show you some clips now. Hey everybody. So it's been a few months since my initial Fimi Palm review, and what I decided I wanted to do was give it a fair chance now that 4K 24p is out. So today we are going to be vlogging from the Fimi Palm. Alrighty guys, so we don't make the video too long. What I did was the first footage you guys saw was me outside just walking around, and now I want to show you a different kind of lighting setup where this is me in the studio. So I have a small 30 watt light here with a small softbox, and then I have a 60 watt light right there with a much bigger softbox, and I just wanted to kind of see how the Fimi Palm holds up. So on the screen itself, the quality looks good. What we have to see is how it looks on the computer. But what I'll do is I'll do a little studio tour, and we'll use the Fimi Palm as the camera to do it, and let's see how the footage holds up. So as you notice, the Fimi Palm has face tracking too, just as the Osmo Pocket does. See the two soft boxes behind me. Then I've got the part of the room you don't see. So on these shelves, I've got a nice little lava lamp, which is warming up because I'm about to do a live stream. For those of you gearheads, I like using the original Blackmagic on this setup. So 2 other things I want to get at before we end this kind of F-log test. The microphone that you're hearing right now, it's okay, and I'm obviously clear, but the audio quality just quite isn't as good as the Osmo Pocket. The other thing too is I get this weird vibration in the motor sometimes when it's at weird angles, and it doesn't seem to be affecting footage, but you can hear it in the microphones because it is quite loud. Again, it doesn't seem to be affected in the footage, but it's something that I do want to point out. Again, this thing is almost half the price of the Osmo Pocket, so there's of course going to be some compromises when it comes to certain things, but again, you know, I really like it, and I like it more for vlogging. I mean, look, I normally am this far out on the Osmo Pocket when I'm vlogging, and, you know, it looks like I'm miles away on the Fimi Palm. I get a nice wide angle, and I like it. So, you know, like I said, I think this is going to be my vlogging camera. I just don't think that I'm going to be using F-Log to vlog. But that's really my thoughts. Let's get back to the studio. So that's pretty much it for the Fimi Palm. Another few little notes. If you're used to using drones like the Mavic 2 Pro, the Fimi Palm has H.265, just like the Mavic 2 Pro does, except for in the Mavic 2 Pro, the H.265 is used to basically give you almost double the quality. So if you have an 100 megabit codec, it's giving you around the quality of 200 megabits or maybe a little bit more and 10-bit. Whereas in this camera, it actually films at H.265 at a lower bitrate, but what it does is that lower bitrate gives you the same quality as the H.264 100 megabit bitrate, which this camera does offer as well. But where that's cool is you can now use slower SD cards like this one. This is a slower SD card that I could not use in my Osmo Pocket. I couldn't use it in my Mavic 2 Pro unless I'm just taking pictures or I'm doing lower bitrate video. But I can use it in this Fimi Palm, and I have longer recording times, but I could also film with this slower SD card, so it's a win-win, and it's great because I have a few of these that I can just pop in. So overall, I've really enjoyed this second life on the Fimi Palm, and I do highly recommend it if you're going to use this to vlog. If you're not going to use this to vlog, and you were going to, you know, film things, and you're kind of using this in conjunction with other cameras like a Blackmagic or the GH5, the Osmo Pocket still may be your go-to camera, just because I do like that there is the ability for the shallow depth of field, or somewhat shallow depth of field. You can shoot in the Cine D profile, which I like a little bit more than this one. There's just a few more options for filmmakers on the Osmo Pocket and the 4K 60. It's a little bit better for action sports, but if you're filming yourself and you want a camera that's going to get it what you want, and it's on a gimbal, and you also want an easy camera to film other people as well, I would say that this is probably a better all-around camera than the Osmo, just because of the wider field of view. There's less things you have to worry about. It also has the built-in Wi-Fi, so you don't have to go get an adapter to use that. It's got the joystick right here. It's got a few more options that the Osmo Pocket just doesn't have, that for people who are just filming everyday life and they aren't serious filmmakers, this is absolutely the better pick over the Osmo Pocket. I'm very glad that they added the 24p, and I'm much happier with the Fimi Palm than when I originally got it. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit that like, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, my name's Jeff Fagien, and I will see you guys in the next video.